All right, so let's see if we can build a small Angular application that would allow us to navigate through a several layers of one-to-many relationships between courses that might have multiple modules, modules that might have multiple lessons, lessons that might have multiple widgets, and which is it might be a good place to get started that you might use for your own for the upcoming assignments. Obviously, the layout will be different. This layout is a very simple layout of multiple lists. Yours would be laid out with maybe a left-hand side modules, tabs on the top right-hand side, and then topics under that, and then widgets under that. Also, I've only done it 4 layers. I believe yours would be 5 layers deep. All right, so let's take a look at how we might go about doing that. We had started already with a project that we might reuse. Let's see what we have so far. Not this one. Let's see if I can open it up. Open recently. Or maybe I already have it opened. It might be this one. All right, so let's see what we have so far. If we had not yet gotten started, I believe, with the column navigator. But we already have a project already going. Okay, so I'm not going to create a brand new one. A Bootstrap, I believe we might already have installed Bootstrap. Let me see, and the assets, looks like we do have Bootstrap. Okay, so we did that already. So let's create a client that from Angular is going to be able to talk to a server-side repository through a controller, and I believe this we already have. So let's verify that we have that. On the Java side, we have. Well, looks like we have a course controller, right, where we can retrieve all courses. So we have that. And that course controller probably, does it have a module? It looks like we do. We have oh no, actually no, just a course. And I guess we never got to do a module. Let's see. We have a controllers. We have course. Okay, we didn't have a module. We never created a module. So we'll do that today. So that we will have several one-to-many relationships. Let's see if this actually works, or if this is broken. Let's start this server. Let's see if we have a running RESTful API. All right, it's complaining because it looks like we already have something running on 8080. Might be, let's see, is it this one? No, that's not it. Maybe this one. Oh, probably I'm running it here. Let me kill that. Okay, it's running over here. So let me kill that, and let me restart my Java server. Try it again. Okay, so let's see if that works now. Let's try and hit our Java server. So localhost 8080 and courses. Okay, we have no courses. And let's see if we can create a couple of courses. Let's see the application properties. Where are we pointing to? We're pointing to this database here, webdev. Let's see if we can find it somewhere in here. Webdev SU, okay, SU119, and courses. Do we have any courses? Okay, we don't have any courses, right? That's why they're not showing up. So let's create a couple courses here. So this is CS 5610, CS 3500, and I'm going to apply this. If we go back and hit the server, looks like we have those 2 courses. Excellent. So we have courses. If we want to navigate through a fairly deep data structure, we will need to create other other entities, right, that are related to one another. Yeah, like courses containing modules, modules containing lessons, and so on and so forth. Yes. So let's implement that first, so that we can then try and hit it from Angular. Right. So this, you might have already implemented something similar, right, for courses and modules. So let's create a couple classes here. So we'll say with module, and for module, we'll have something similar, right? We'll have a primary key. We'll have a title for the module. So this might be private integer, and this is ID, and private string title. And yes. Oh, it could be either. Okay. Yeah. I only like integer a little better just because I can compare it against null, but that's only convenience. But it could be either. So we'll annotate this as entity. It will annotate it. I'm also going to override the name of the table, since by default the name of the table is the same name as the class. But by convention in SQL, we like to use plurals. So this will be modules, plural. Also, I'm going to delegate I'm going to declare this ID as the primary key, but I'm going to delegate the generation of this. I don't want to have to generate this value as unique identifier. Instead, I'm going to let the database do that for me using an identity strategy, right? Meaning on SQL, it'll use auto increment. Yes? Okay. Plus, there is a one-to-many relationship between module and course. So somewhere here, I know who my course is. Okay, and from the courses point of view, we have a one-to-many relationship with courses, right? So there'll be here a list of courses that belong to this list of modules that belongs to this course. So these are the modules. Oops. List. And so to establish that relationship between courses that have many modules, we'll say that I am on the one side of a one-to-many relationship, and that the other record, the other field, refers to me through a foreign key, refers to me, and the field that represents that foreign key, his name, it's mapped by a field called course. Right, so this course refers to this field right here in the module. Yes, right, and that's how it's going to figure out the name of the foreign key. Right, it'll use course underscore ID as the foreign key to point back to me. Right, that's again by naming convention. We'll create we'll have to generate the setters and getters for these. All right, for this brand new module list, I'll generate it down here. Code generate the modules. There it is. Okay. So on the module side, I also need to annotate this that I am the many side of a one-to-many relationship. Right. I'm on the many side. So the one of them I use one-to-many. On this side I use many-to-one. Yes. One-to-one. Yeah, you have one-to-one too. I'm sorry? To the course? Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yes, one-to-many. Right. So once I have this all set up, I'm going to generate a couple of setters and getters. Code generate setter and getters. All of these. There we go. Oops. I want this to be up here. Excellent. Okay. All right. So let's do that. If we refresh, if we restart the server, it's gonna kill the server. It's gonna restart the server, and it's going to generate a new table. Notice that I created a modules table here. See that? Plus, it added the constraints for course ID that is referring back to the course. Yes. So if we go here and refresh, you'll notice that now we're going to have a module a modules. There we go. We have a modules table now. That currently it's empty. There's nothing in there. So if I go back to my API and I ask for the courses again, you'll notice I have a modules field now that is empty. There are no modules associated to any one of these courses, which is fine. We can populate them. Notice that course has one course ID is 1 and the other one is 2. We can create two modules referring to two different courses. So we can say this module 1.1 belongs to course ID 1, and you can have maybe module 1.2 referring to the same course. So they both belong to the same course, right? So if I apply and I insert those two, and I go back in my API, now see it goes into an infinite loop, right? And that's because, right, what we mentioned earlier, right? What happens is that it's trying to convert the modules into the JSON representation, but they link back to the course, and the course to the modules, the modules to the course, so it gets into this infinite loop. So to break that infinite loop, there's two ways. You can either, on either one of the relationship, you can say ignore. Right, so here I'm going to say that if you don't try to convert the course here into its convert it into its JSON representation. Otherwise, you're going to end up in a loop. Right? And the reason I'm putting JSON ignore here is because I want to navigate from my parent to my children, but not necessarily from my children back to my parent, right? Through JSON. I could have put it in my parent, but that would make no sense, right? I would only be able to navigate from my children to my parent, which is normally not the way we want to navigate this, right? We want to navigate deeper, not shallower. All right, so having done that, we can restart the server. And if we hit it again, we should be okay. So let's see, this would be localhost courses. Now we have the first course, 5610, having these modules, but 3500 not having any modules. Make sense? Right? I can add a couple modules to the other course as well. So this will be, module 2.1 for course 2. This is module 2.2 for course 2, and module 2.3 for same course. So I've added three modules to the second course. So if I refresh, notice that indeed I have 2 modules for the first course and I have 3 modules for the second course. Everybody okay? All right, let's keep going. We'll do one more at least, one level deep more. Okay, only because it's only interesting because a course has a one-to-many with modules. Module is going to have a many-to-one with courses, but it's going to have a one-to-many with its lessons, right? So it needs to maintain both relationships. So it's like it's sandwiched between two relationships, right? So let's go that one further. So we'll have lessons here. So this is lessons, and in lessons, again, let's keep it simple. So this will be a private integer ID and private string title for the lesson. And here we'll have the lesson be part of a many-to-one relationship with modules, right? So this is, I'm on the many side of a relationship with my module. So I belong to this module. Whereas in modules, not only am I participating in a many-to-one with course, I'm also participating in a one-to-many relationship with a list of lessons. So this is lessons. Okay. I also need to configure saying that lessons refers to me as module. So it's mapped by module. So lessons refers to the module's module. I also am going to stop the recursive iteration here. So this is JSON ignore. I think that's it. Let's see. We'll need the setters and getters for this. Right, so we'll say code generate setters and getters for all these. I don't want to be, oops, cut here. I want to put it up here. All right, I think that's all we need. Let's restart the server. So what we should see here is a brand new table. Run, fail, yada, yada, yada. All right, so probably what's happening is that it's complaining that it's trying to update my modules, but it already has references to its parent, right? That has foreign keys, parent keys. So it's complaining that perhaps we should drop this from here. Drop the modules. I'm actually going to drop the course as well. Also because when it was generating the course table, I just realized that oh, we never annotated this as an entity. See that? So this is an entity. We never annotated that this is a table. And the name I'm going to use is lessons. And also in course, we never told it that actually a better name for this table is courses, plural. Let's try that again. We'll have to recreate all the database, all the data. Oops. What's going on here? Cause blah 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 blah. Model lesson. No identifier specified for entity. Ooh, did we not annotate it? I guess we didn't. Yeah, we never annotated this as a primary key. And we never annotated this as a generated. And that the strategy is identity. Let's try it again. Okay, notice it created a whole bunch of tables. It created the courses table, the lessons table, the modules table. It then went back and altered the courses to have a foreign key, lessons, modules, adds all these constraints. Okay, great. So let's go back and see what we have so far. And now notice that we have courses, we have modules, we have lessons, right? So let's create a couple of these. So let's create again the same courses as before. Apply. Oops. Let's refresh. Courses. There we go. Okay. So we'll say course 1 and course 2. Apply. And for modules, we'll just create a couple of these. Module 1, module 2, module 3, module 4, and module 5 that belong to courses 1, 2, 2, and 2. Apply. And finally, a couple of lessons. We'll create, this is lesson 1, lesson 2, and lesson 3, all belonging to the first module. Apply. Done. So if we go back to our API, ask for courses, we should have everything there, right? We have course 1 with 2 modules, course 2 with 2 modules, and no lessons. What? Why don't we have lessons? Do we not have any lessons? Do we not have any lessons? We didn't learn our lessons. This is connected to modules, and module is connected to lessons. Do we not create a setter and getter for lesson? Probably not. It's grayed out. So probably we forgot to generate the setter and getter. If you don't have setters and getters, if we're breaking the Java Bean specification, and fields will just be ignored. Okay, let's try it again. Let's restart. It shouldn't change the database. The schema should stay exactly the same. So if we refresh this, there we go. Now we have lessons. Everybody good? All right, excellent. All right, so we have the data side of this done. All right, let's move on to perhaps any services we might need, any Angular components that we might need, and move forward.